these people who are attacking and who have praised, they are the fringe. Okay. They are the fringe, and they have been trying to destroy this. Now the Pakistan government, the Punjab government in particular, has been playing footsie with all these organizations. And even now, if the crackdown is in the realm of the Punjab government, I don't think that will see more than kind of a certain amount of surface.
Cosmetic really.
Cosmetic, because, by the way, even the civilians, I mean, there's something to say about the culture, because you said that you showed civilians demonstrating. How were they demonstrating? They were demonstrating with gunfire.
Okay, let's Asad Durrani, even the sort of cosmetic restrictions that have been placed, the so-called exit control on Hafiz Saeed, what does it mean on the ground? It means nothing. Benazir Bhutto was placed on this exit control list. So was former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. They all conveniently made deals with governments outside of Pakistan, went in exile, and then when they conveniently had to make deals with the army, they came back to Pakistan. So this so-called exit control means nothing. General Durrani?
Yes. You have already answered your own question, and I have no reasons to say it means more than that. But I think much more interesting for me is what Mr. Akbar has just said. It has got, of course, yes, whenever the government will crack down, it may or may not have anything about the ideological orientation, but it certainly has plenty to do with politics, with strategy, with the operational capacity, and so on.
So it comes back to the same point. Why should then the government of India, or the people of India for that matter, believe that this so-called process, this rebuilding of trust and breaking down the trust deficit and so on, amounts to nothing? Because the fact is that Pakistan will promise one thing and then not deliver on it. This is a to and fro that's been happening since the Mumbai attacks.
Only from the perspective of this particular crackdown, then I would agree that you may not take it seriously, but there are other things that can be taken more seriously when it comes to India and Pakistan. It is the overall security of the region, it's Afghanistan, it is the fear as to how this region would look like. Now that is where one can take things more seriously, but if the whole thing is going to be hinged to a particular operation, and say unless Hafiz Saeed or whatever, his other ilk is, if that happens, and even if that happens, I mean, we always have the court to contend with, then of course you're right. I suppose those things may not be taken as seriously as you people want to.
Manish Tiwari, next week on the 15th of July, the Foreign Minister of India will be meeting his Pakistani counterpart, and surely this issue will come up, and Pakistan will try to portray as though this is a tangible action that India has been asking for on terrorist outfits. It comes back to the moot point. Why are we talking when we know that Pakistan believes in duplicity? The government portrays the image that on the one hand they are cracking down on terrorist outfits, at the same time the same army is the one which foments these terrorist outfits. How does the dialogue happen in such duplicitous terms?
Well, I think the dialogue process is on, and the red lines have been very clearly drawn. What India expects out of the dialogue, out of Pakistan, has been clearly articulated by the Indian side to their Pakistani interlocutors. And I would not second guess as to how a particular discussion or what course it would take. I would only at this point in time say that if there are certain actions which have been initiated by the Pakistani government, let's wait for them to play themselves out. Let's not come to premature conclusions.
The point that everybody around the table seems to be making, Manish, is that these actions amount to nothing. Hafiz Saeed is still a free man. Today, Syed Salahuddin was making an open speech just opposite to the ISI headquarters in Islamabad. And this is a man that's been banned in that country. So why should we take seriously any crackdown that the Pakistan government is so tom-tomming about?
Again, if you look at it in a little historical context, before 26/11, there was never an admittance by Pakistan that its nationals or its territory was involved or engaged in terrorist activity against India. After 26/11, with the international pressure which was mounted on Pakistan, with the United Nations getting into action, with entities getting onto the banned list, individuals getting onto the banned list, Pakistan realized that they need to act with a certain level of seriousness. Coupled with that is also the internal situation in Pakistan. Hang on for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it has led to.
Well, the Pakistanis are also seemingly coming around to the view that the Frankenstein has come home to roost. So therefore, I don't think it would be appropriate to second guess a situation or to possibly predict a dialogue before it happens. They have initiated an action. Let's wait as to how it plays itself out.